The Mario RPGs are often considered to be among the best Mario games ever created. Their mix of deep, compelling stories combined with the colorful world of the Super Mario Bros. Led to a series of games that have received reviews that were nothing short of critical acclaim. With Nintendo making hit after hit with their Mario RPGs, Nintendo struck gold with Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga on the Game Boy Advance. This game was unlike any other RPG at the time, and as a result, fans begged for a sequel. But that raised the question, what would Nintendo do next? What could Nintendo do next? Could they recapture the simplicity and innovative nature of Superstar Saga? Or would they rather just build upon what they already had and play it safe? The second title would test whether Nintendo was ready to launch yet another Mario RPG series. And today, I'll be finding out if this Mario title will be the time of my life or a complete waste of time, as I complete Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
Happy Black Friday, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of The Completionist. Before we start, a little quick self-promo. The Yeti and I are fire sailing all of our designs on Super Beard Brothers and The Completionist pages. So, if you want some merch at an awesome discount and you want this face somewhere on you, now is the time. The fire sale is coming to an end very, very soon, so please get on those deals. Now's the time. And the best part about this deal, you don't have to leave your house. You can order it right now from the comfort of your home. Check it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Yeti.com/thecompletionist. Yeti.com/superbeerbros. Get on that merch life if you want. And if not, please, one day. I'd appreciate it. I thought to myself, you know what? What does everyone love in this channel? What do I love in this channel? My boy Mario. That's what I thought, because I'm that kind of guy. So I thought, you know what? There's no new Mario game coming out. Let's take a look at an older Mario game. Except I am running out of Mario games to look at. So I thought, you know what? Let's take another look at yet another Mario game from the RPG lineup. Today, we're taking a good look at Mario and Luigi Partners in Time for the Nintendo DS. Let's begin. Yes!
After the release of Super Mario RPG back in 1996, Nintendo split up their development teams to work on two separate Mario RPG series, the Paper Mario games and the Mario and Luigi games. At the time, each series released their games in an alternating pattern. If a Paper Mario game came out, then the next Mario RPG would be a Mario and Luigi game. The idea was for Nintendo to be able to regularly pump out these RPGs while still giving each team the time they needed to flesh out specific ideas. Since the Mario and Luigi series debuted on a handheld system, the developers decided that the sequel should be created for Nintendo's then upcoming handheld system, the Nintendo DS. And it was created in an unusually quick development cycle, focusing on taking advantage of the DS's hardware. The previous Mario and Luigi game allowed Mario to be controlled by one button, while Luigi would be controlled by another. But seeing how the DS now had X and Y buttons, the development team decided that two more characters should be introduced in order to take advantage of the opportunity. So, who did they pick? Maybe Wario and Waluigi? Peach and Daisy? Toad and Toadette? Nope, they went with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Yeah, okay. That's cool, I guess. So now you've got the Super Mario twins and their infantile doubles. And there are only two things that could make that weird combo even better: time travel and aliens. But despite the game featuring Nintendo's titular plumbers and their baby variants, Partners in Time was hardly promoted and was overshadowed by several other projects that year. So upon release, Partners in Time barely made a splash. It's unfortunate that it was never really that popular, but to me, the game actually looks pretty dope. I've Never really heard any negative things about the game, but to be fair, I've never really heard people talk about it in general either. According to my research, this is a rather simple Mario adventure, where once I beat the game, I'll also have completed the game. No major collectibles, no time trials, just a nice casual playthrough in which I'll be teaming up with some babies to fight off some aliens. I need to get my hands on my own time machine so I can relive this moment anytime I get stressed out about completing a game, or whenever I need another Grand Mac from McDonald's. Why would you introduce this just to take it away? Mario and Luigi Partners in Time continues the adventures of the Mario Brothers in a surprisingly dark new direction while maintaining its overall simplistic nature. In a weird way, it's quite refreshing to me to see the Mario franchise convey a more serious tone. At least, this is as serious as a Mario story should be without going too far into the dark. This is most evident in the game's story. The game starts off by showcasing the mushroom-based alien species known as the Shroobs. These mysterious purple figures plan to suddenly attack the Mushroom Kingdom in the past. So, in the past, we see Baby Mario and Baby Luigi visit Baby Peach's castle. But hey, this could be pretty cool. We've never seen the Mushroom Kingdom in the past. Maybe this whimsical world will have gradually changed over time, and maybe we'll be able to see the younger versions of some other major characters. Or better yet, maybe we'll finally see the parents of anybody. Sadly, we actually don't get any of that. Well, we do get to see a younger version of Princess Peach's caretaker, Toadsworth, but otherwise, that's about it. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi just show up to Baby Peach's castle one day for a play date when all of a sudden, Baby Bowser attacks the castle. Yeah, apparently when they were young, Baby Bowser was still trying to steal Baby Peach's heart. After a quick battle, the castle then undergoes an alien invasion. Several Shroob UFOs attack the castle. Holy crap, that must be terrifying. Imagine being a baby going over to a castle for a play date and all of a sudden your entire kingdom is destroyed by aliens. Now I totally get why Luigi is scared all the time as an adult. Now, based on what I can infer from my knowledge of time travel, which mainly comes from the Back to the Future trilogy, I already know that Baby Mario and Baby Luigi clearly don't die here. I mean, yeah, it's a Nintendo game. They wouldn't kill babies in a kid's game, but aside from that, we know they grow up to eventually become adults. In the present, we learn that Professor EGAT has created a time machine using an energy source called the Cobalt Star. Without hesitation, Princess Peach uses the time machine to travel to the past. Shortly afterward, the time machine returns in a malfunctioning, damaged state. And what a surprise, Princess Peach is nowhere to be found. And on top of that, the Cobalt Star has shattered into pieces, which has created a rip in the space-time continuum and has caused several time portals to show up throughout the world. So, Mario and Luigi travel into the past to try to rescue Princess Peach and collect all of the Cobalt Star pieces. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, they travel back to the time period in which the Shroobs invaded the Mushroom Kingdom. And as you may have guessed at this point, the Shroobs have abducted Princess Peach. Along the way, the Mario Brothers meet up with their baby selves and set off to collect Cobalt Star pieces, fight off invading aliens, and rescue Peach. It's nice to fight new foes, and it's nice to have another new antagonist in the Mario franchise that's not Bowser. But I do have my gripes. For as serious and deadly as the Shroobs are, the main enemies of the games being aliens kind of works against the game's storytelling. Because the Shroobs are aliens, they don't speak English. They speak in this weird gibberish language. Oh, come on, Nintendo. Sure, I guess that logically it'd be unlikely that an alien race would speak English, but this is the Mario series, for crying out loud. Since when has logic ever applied? This is an RPG, so this should be a story-based game, right? It's a little hard to tell a story when neither Mario nor Luigi speak, and the villains do speak, but they don't speak in any known language. So a decent portion of the game's story is just talking to enemies that you can't understand. It'd be one thing if this game took a show-don't-tell approach and just made none of the characters have text boxes, but instead, this game took a kind of show, kind of tell stance that just left me more confused than satisfied. Fortunately, you can kinda understand Princess Shroob, but even then, you don't see her that much, and she hardly speaks English. But that's another problem I have with the game. The main antagonist of the game is named Princess Shroob. This is the leader of an alien race, a commander of a UFO fleet, and a cynical princess. And yet, the best name the developers could come up with was Princess Shroob. Surely there could have been dozens of other names that Nintendo could have used, like Shroobina, or Shroobigail, or Shroobette, but, maybe not that last one. The creativity in this game definitely shines in some of the other areas though. Designers really went to town coming up with imaginative designs for these odd creatures. Most notably, look at this giant pink dinosaur. Look at this big boy. Each location in the game has a nice visual style to it that makes the locales feel unique and easily distinguishable from one another. Every character and enemy retains that cartoony, thick outline style, and the backgrounds almost look akin to that of a painting or wallpaper mural. There are also plenty of fun details throughout the game that definitely help make this Mario game shine. Thwomp Volcano is made entirely out of thwomps. There's a poster of Prince Peasley from the first Mario Luigi game at the Toad Shop, and Nintendo knows that fans absolutely love this stuff. Even our Patreon supporter Michael Pagan has a few positive words to share.
The thing I loved about it, it's still one of my favorite parts, is the start menu. I love how aware it is. You start the game, it's just Mario and Luigi on the clocks. Then you get the babies, and the babies are on the clock to the grown-ups, but then you hit a point in the game where you think something happened to the adults, and then you boot up the game again, and it's just the babies on the menu. It shocked my 13-year-old self like crazy.
The music in this game is also pretty flavorful. Yoko Shimomura returns from her previous Mario RPG work once again to compose some great tunes and atmospheric melodies. And despite Partners in Time having a darker story than usual, the overall vibrant graphics and expressive characters of the game help ensure that players still feel like this is a Mario title. Nothing ever feels out of place here. Even the Shroobs still feel like as if they could appear in a Mario spin-off game and feel right at home. But I am left questioning, would Baby Mario and Baby Luigi have survived in the past if adult Mario and adult Luigi never discovered time travel? Would the Shroobs have just taken over the world with ease? Instead of the Mushroom Kingdom, would it just become the Shroob Kingdom? Well, I guess it could be the Purple Mushroom Kingdom. I'd be down to see that. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time is a noteworthy sequel that expands upon the concepts that were set by its predecessor, yet some concepts in the game feel like a step backwards and aren't completely satisfying to experience. Fortunately, this game's battle system is still incredibly fun. Each fight is still turn-based, in which Mario, Luigi, Baby Mario, and Baby Luigi all have the ability to counterattack enemies. One major battle mechanic is that each fight simultaneously utilizes both the top and bottom screens of the Nintendo DS. There may be flying enemies that rest on top of the screen, and there may be other enemies that alternate between both screens to try and psych you out. In other words, you need to continuously look at both screens so that you can keep track of countering and evading enemy attacks properly. There's also the new addition of Bros items, and they function as this game's form of special moves. These Bro items are a pretty neat addition, and they sometimes even feel like mini games. They usually just consist of either repetitive button mashing, like in the case of the Fire Flower or the Ice Flower, or memorization, such as the Cannonballer or Trampoline. These items are fun to use, and they are crucial if you want to defeat boss battles within a reasonable amount of time. And the boss battles in Partners in Time are perhaps the best part about the game. Each boss is unique and has a creative way of attacking the player throughout a battle. Some of my favorites include the Shrewd Boy Brat, who will use an audience of Shroobs on the top screen to determine which character he will attack. And then there's the Bowser battle, where you sometimes have a back and forth hammer battle against Bowser's shell. Now, the main downside to each fight, however, is that you eventually just start spamming Bro items to win. The bosses are definitely creative and fun, but they just sometimes have way too much health, and certain fights just feel like they drag on after a while. How many Fire Flowers do I need to take down some of these bad guys? But hey, at least defeating each boss feels super gratifying. Every time you beat one, it explodes into pink dust and stars shoot out everywhere. I don't really know why this happens, but I absolutely love it. Of course, this game is more than just battles. Partners in Time does a nice job of providing a fair amount of puzzles to the player as they make their way from location to location. One of the core mechanics of this game's puzzles requires that Mario and Luigi be separated from Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. When this happens, one pair of brothers will appear on the bottom screen while the other appears on the top. In this way, the game innovatively creates puzzles that require each pair of brothers to interact with one another. For as fun as the puzzles and battles are, the game definitely seems more compact and restricted in its exploration than that of its predecessor. There's only really one bonus area that you can explore that's not a part of the game's plot, and that's the sewers of Peach's castle. And even then, there's not really that much to explore here. Though you can find Fawful. Remember him? He was the sidekick to the antagonist in the previous game? Well, he's here, and he can only be visited by Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, which is kind of hilarious, as Fawful does not recognize the Mario brothers as babies, and the babies don't know that he's a potential threat to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's a nice touch, but it also just reminds you how linear the rest of the game is. There are only two main purposes to getting new abilities in the game: being able to get to the next area of the game, and maybe being able to play a mini game later on that may benefit from using a specific ability. In Superstar Saga, I can recall revisiting older areas to get power-ups and badges. I was rewarded for exploring the game's entire map, but in Partners in Time, once you've completed the game's plot in one area, there's no real reason to ever go back to it, and you're not really in each area of the game for that long. This is definitely an RPG where you just go where the game tells you to go and you experience the plot and that's it. Normally, a game being straightforward wouldn't be a bad thing, but in this case, Partners in Time just feels more contained and restricted than I'd like. However, unlike Superstar Saga, this game actually does have you explore somewhat more familiar areas. Areas in the game include Bowser's Castle, which looks a bit similar to how it does in Superstar Saga, Yoshi's Island, where the music is oh so wonderful, and Star Hill, which I'm pretty sure is the same Star Hill from the original Paper Mario. As I stated earlier, the game doesn't have any collectibles. The only thing that even comes remotely close are the random X marks in the ground that can be dug up by the babies. But even then, the beans are replenishable via a minigame later on anyway, so actually finding all of them doesn't do anything. And the only purpose they serve is to be exchanged for badges back at Peach's castle. And Peach's castle is the hub world of this game. It sounds cool that her castle would be the hub world, but there's not really that much to do here. I mean, you can interact with toads and buy items, and you don't have to worry about encountering enemies here. It's not always convenient to get from one part of the castle to another. In fact, at one point, Bowser destroys one of the castle's bridges. And so, for the rest of the game, that bridge is just broken. It's just an inconvenience that's permanently there for the rest of the freaking game. At first, I thought it was kind of funny, and then I realized that if I wanted to climb to the top of the castle, I had to keep going to an alternate route because these toads were never gonna fix this damn bridge. Really? These toads can't repair this bridge? Well, what are these toads doing all day anyways? They're clearly not protecting Princess Peach, and if they are, they're doing a pretty terrible job at that. Honestly, some of these ideas in Partners in Time work well, like the battles and the visuals, but a few other ideas just left me wanting more. While I'm glad that completing the game is much easier than the other Mario RPGs, I am a bit bummed to know that I have no real reason to continue exploring any location once I've defeated all of the bosses there. And then there's one more gripe that I have. Well, it's less of a gripe and more of a curious observation. One of the DS's biggest selling points was that its bottom screen was a touchscreen. This game doesn't have touch controls, but there is one moment where the touchscreen is required. There's a part in the game where you are given a drawing and you have to remove dirt off of it using the touchscreen. That's it. It takes about 5 seconds and then it's done. Like, what was the point of that? Look, all I'm saying is the game has a lot of questionable design decisions, but the game is still fun. I'd even say it's a blast. I'd even say it's a blast in the past. I nailed it. I did it. I'm the best. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time doesn't really offer any main rewards for completing the game, but simply beating the game in its own right is still a fun experience. Once the credits are over, you can see a neat picture of Mario and the gang all in front of Professor Egad's time machine. But if you press any button afterward, the only way to ever see that picture again would be to beat Bowser and sit through the credits once more. Is that some kind of joke? Is that like an intentional way of saying that this game is forever stuck at this point in time, and the only thing you can do once you've beaten the game is to go back to another point in time? Why am I so angry? This is a fucking Mario game. Like, damn, this is fun, but I'm like mad. Oh, while I completed Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, there were 6 Cobalt Shard pieces collected, 15 bosses defeated, 7 time portals I used to jump back into the past, 22 hours of total playtime, and One bridge that will just never be repaired over at Princess Peach's castle. I'm telling you, someone's gonna fall and get hurt, and there won't be any time machine you can summon that will allow you to go back and fix that bridge. Partners in Time is a lot of fun, and it definitely fits right in the line of Mario RPGs, but it isn't without its faults. It's a bit more linear than I would like in an RPG, but its simplistic nature, dark story, and colorful characters were enough to make me say that completing this game was worth my time.
Mario and Luigi Partners in Time was a fun experience with a few faults. Still, I had a lot of fun during each boss fight in the game, and I believe that it successfully used the Nintendo DS and its features in a creative way. But because this game doesn't have any sort of collectible, and because simply finishing the game means I'm technically already completing it, I guess I can't really say this game was too challenging to complete. It left some things to be desired, but hey, if that's the worst thing about it, then how bad can the game truly be? So, with that in mind, guys, I give this game my completionist rating of complete it.
Complete it!
That's all time here for today, guys, so please, as always, let me know what you thought about today's episode somewhere on the internet. If you like the show, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget, we have that fire sale going over on the Yeti.com/thecompletionist and the Yeti.com/SuperBeerBros. It's only going for a couple more days. And hey, I'd really appreciate it if you pick up some merch, because these designs, in fact, are going away. So, get them while you still can. That's it, that's all, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time for another brand new episode. Bye!